Please welcome to the stage Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton.
Good morning, everyone. I am Juliana Stratton. I use she, her pronouns, and I am proud to serve as your Lieutenant Governor. Let me begin by thanking every single one of our Democratic county chairs for the vital roles each of you play in ensuring that our party connects with voters across Illinois. It is because of your dedication to turn former Republican strongholds like DuPage, Kane, Lake, and Will County more blue with each election. I'd also like to recognize the 2022 Party Builder honorees and thank IDCCA President Christina Zahorik and Executive Director Dan Kovacs for their hard work and dedication to Democratic chairs across our state. And thank you to people and, of course, the men and women of organized labor. With your help, JB and I have delivered on our promise to put Springfield back on the side of working families. We've ensured a living wage for all Illinoisans while creating good-paying jobs and rebuilding our roads and bridges. And when I say that we stand with organized labor, let me just say this. This fall, we will pass the Workers' Rights Amendment. We've expanded access to affordable health care, education, and child care because everyone deserves the dignity of being able to take care of themselves and their family. We've guaranteed equal pay for equal work, passed nation-leading climate legislation, and we're continuing to lift up Illinoisans of all backgrounds and zip codes in every corner of our state. And yes, we codified the right to choose into state law because we knew that the far-right United States Supreme Court justices would stop at nothing to strip women of their bodily autonomy. But hear me when I say this. If he is elected, on day one, Republican nominee Darren Bailey, let me rephrase that. The Trump-endorsed MAGA extremist Darren Bailey will do everything in his power to try to turn back the clock on our progress. And he has the unmitigated gall to think that the women of Illinois are going to just sit back, sit down, and stay silent. So, let me ask all the amazing Democratic women of Illinois that I see all across this room, and anyone who stands with us, are we going to let Darren Bailey and his extreme MAGA ideology get anywhere near the governor's office? Of course not, because Darren Bailey is just far too extreme for Illinois. Look at his far-right extremist rhetoric in just the last month and a half, where he compared abortion to the Holocaust. Or how about when he told a community and state in mourning to just move on from a heartbreaking and preventable tragedy. This man is not fit to do the real job of leading all Illinoisans. My fellow Democrats, there's simply too much at stake, and we must be unified and laser-focused on defeating Darren Bailey's far-right extremist agenda. Together, we must ensure that Illinois remains a beacon dedicated to uplifting our residents and protecting our shared democratic values. A place where all are welcome and have access to the resources they need to thrive, and a place where women and not politicians decide what's best for our bodies and our futures, because here in Illinois, we trust women. Now, I know that with the help of everyone here in this room, that we're going to continue the work that we started more than 3 years ago. And we will elect and re-elect pro-choice, pro-worker, and pro-democracy Democrats up and down the ticket at every level of elected office and in every corner of our state. Our unity is powerful. In fact, our unity is where we find our strength. And it is our unity and the hard work that I know that every one of us will do to get out the vote that will carry us to victory in November. Thank you to the Illinois Democratic County Chairs Association for your partnership and your support. And now it is my distinct honor to bring to the stage someone that I am so proud to stand alongside of every single day as he leads our state and fights for working families. And he just happens to be the very best governor in the United States of America, Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Thank you all very much. Good morning, Illinois Democrats. Give it up again for the greatest lieutenant governor this state has ever had, Juliana Stratton. This is the biggest and best Democratic County Chairs Brunch ever, and I want to extend my immense gratitude to Christina and Dan and to each and every one of the party leaders in all 102 counties. You play the crucial role of reaching voters in every corner of our state. Congratulations, of course, to our Party Builder Award winners. You are the stalwarts who continue to make our party a winner in election after election. For many months and even years, the volunteers and activists who are in this room have been hard at work building our party from the ground up, engaging your communities to make sure that we elect people who truly represent the democratic values of a majority of Illinoisans. Just think of our progress over the last 4 years. We've strengthened our Democratic majorities in the General Assembly and elected the first black Speaker of the House, Emanuel Chris Welch. And back in 2018, no one thought that Kane County was a Democratic county, but thanks in part to leaders like Mark Gately and the men and women of organized labor, Democrats now have control of the Kane County Board and elected Corinne Pirog as the first Democratic County Board chair since before the Great Depression. In McLean County, GOP board member Josh Barnett announced that the Republican Party no longer stands for the values of personal privacy, of working class families, and the rights of women. And with that, he switched parties and took away the Republican majority. And for the first time in more than a century, Republicans lost control of the McLean County Board. And oh, by the way, let's not forget that we're about to elect a McLean County Democrat to the General Assembly in Sharon Chung. In historically Republican DuPage County, we not only won a majority of the county board, but we're about to elect the first Democratic county board chair in more than a century, Deb Conroy. You are turning DuPage into Blue Page. In Champaign County, Democrats beat every Republican countywide, and you're about to elect a new Democratic Congresswoman, Nikki Budzinski. We have made incredible strides turning once Republican strongholds blue, thanks to the relentless work of all the folks in this room. But our work, honestly, is far from over. To protect our fundamental freedoms and fight for working families, we have to elect pro-labor, pro-choice, pro-voting rights, pro-civil rights candidates up and down the Democratic ballot. And the Republicans aren't going to make it easy. The lunatic fringe has taken over their party. And they'll say anything, do anything, destroy anything to get elected. You see, the Donald Trumps and the Darren Baileys of this world want us to feel alone in the struggles that we're all facing together. They want to distract us into believing that marriage equality, Black history, Disney World, and library books are more of a threat to our children than AR-15s. They're attempting to divide America with hateful words and a radical agenda. Meanwhile, which party balanced the state budget for the last 4 years? Democrats. Which party eliminated the bill backlog and got 6 credit upgrades? Democrats. Which party raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour? Which party provided financial relief for families and businesses during a deadly global pandemic and relief from rising prices with our Illinois Family Relief Plan? Democrats. Which party stood up for public safety by eliminating the rape kit backlog, funding a record number of new state troopers, reducing poverty and expanding mental health and substance use treatment? Democrats. While the Republicans try to convince Americans that QAnon lies are real, our diverse Democratic Party is getting big things done for Illinois families. Now, you all know me. I believe in working with people of different viewpoints to build a better, less rancorous political climate. We owe that to our children and our grandchildren. But in the face of what's happening in America today, in the face of what the Supreme Court and the radical right wing are trying to do to the fundamental rights of every American, we, the coalition of the sane, owe something better to our children and our grandchildren. We need to win. And we need to keep our promises to the people who elected us. I want the LGBTQ community to know that we won't let the Republicans force them back into a closet. I want Black and brown people to know that economic prosperity is the new leading edge of the civil rights movement, and we won't give up the fight until we achieve it. I want the truth to be self-evident that the equality of women finally, liberty to pursue happiness is guaranteed. Folks, ours is the real patriotism for free and fair elections, for a constitutional right to reproductive freedom, for a system that makes it easier to vote, not harder, for politicians who honor the nation that George Washington founded, that Abraham Lincoln preserved, and that Martin Luther King battled for the soul of. I know that each and every one of you in this room are ready to build on the progress that we've delivered here in Illinois. I know that you're ready to ensure our state remains a beacon of democratic values. With your help, we will pass the Workers' Rights Amendment. And we're going to build on our Democratic majorities in the General Assembly. And we're going to re-elect Tammy Duckworth and Raja Krishnamurti and Sean Casten and Lauren Underwood and Bill Foster, Ana Mendoza and Kwame Raoul. And we're going to elect Alexi Giannoulias as Secretary of State. We're sending our first Latina Congresswoman to Washington, Delia Ramirez. In both Supreme Court seats. And we will reject Darren Bailey's MAGA agenda that tells people like the people of Highland Park to move on just hours after a mass killing with a weapon he calls a beautiful rifle. He's so extremist that he would force a 10-year-old rape victim to give birth. And we reject candidates like Darren Bailey that believe in the big lie and stand with the insurrectionists on January 6th. But to get the job done, we have to fight for it. You know it. So I have to ask you one question, all of you. Are you ready for the fight? Yeah. Illinois Democrats, are you ready for the fight? Yeah. Let's go get them, everybody. Let's win in 2022.